Good afternoon. Back in 2009, I was fortunate enough to go and spend an hour or so with Sir Steve Redgrave, 5 times Olympic gold medalist Sir Steve Redgraves. I had emailed him a few months before because some of the kids I'd worked with, they always look at me thinking, oh, he tells a great story. But in my mind, wouldn't it be much better if I could say, I was with this 5 times Olympic gold medalist, and his recommendation to you, his advice to you is this. So when I was with him, it was a day when London had come to a standstill. I think there was a centimetre of snow or something on those lines. And I went to Marlow and I took my shoes off in his house, and we sat next to a big open fire and we just chatted. I say chatted, I mean, I asked a few questions and he told me lots of fantastic little nuggets. The first thing was this. I asked him what inspired him. So the first thing that inspired him was him seeing Mark Spitz get 7 gold medals when he was 10 years of age. And incidentally, what was quite nice is that his son, Redgrave's son, Zach, had seen Michael Phelps get 7 gold medals in Beijing 2008. So that was the first thing, this idea of inspiring and what inspired him. That was a learning point. The second one was what was his goal? How did he set out? And he had lots of ideas behind that, but there's one that stood out, and that was in 1996. You might remember that he finished his 4th gold medal and said, if anyone sees me get into another boat again, you have permission to shoot me, or something along those lines. And of course, in a couple of weeks' time, he was back training with his team, and he said, we looked at the year 2000, 23rd of September, 10:30 in the morning in Sydney, and that represented for them lining up at the start line of the Sydney Olympics. He said, for me, that indicated the light at the end of the tunnel. That was the goal, that was the inspiration, as small as it was. And he had loads of challenges with regards to illness and so on and so forth. Not just him, but other people in the boat with injuries. But that was the bit that kept them going. And indeed, building on that, they worked back from that point. You know, what were they eating for breakfast, what they were doing the week before, the month before, etc., etc. So this idea of vision, this idea of a plan, and this idea of some inspiration really was captured incredibly well. The other thing was, what is it that he does that other people don't do? What's his advantage? And he was very clear about that. He said, I just focus on what I've got to do. I concentrate, I just get it done. I thought, wow, that's fantastic when I go back and tell these kids all about it. And I said, what was the one piece of advice you would give for all the kids that I work with, all the students? In fact, it wasn't just about kids and students, I suppose it's anybody. And he said this, he said, take up the challenge and be as good as you can be. And that's what I did. I went back and shared that message with lots of kids.